descend and maintain 2074.
Who am I?
Comment 504, descend and maintain 3000. 3000, comment 504.
Answer Captain 724 is our traffic about our...
In my 20s, I dream of flying a plane. Due to having glasses, I thought it's not possible. In mid-2016, I started to have foggy vision. After I checked out, the doctor said I have cataract in both my eyes. Wow! I really never expected this. I felt like taking a trip to the moon, jumping up and down. I'm filled with excitement. But the unexpected turns out into my reality. The cold, hard truth. I need to step into divorce. My mom said her final goodbye, and my family broke apart. I stepped into a solitude journey. This is the best journey I ever experienced. It was super challenging. My achievement, the award-winning author, from housewife to pilot, the beginning.
Comment 504, descend and maintain 3000. 3000, comment 504.
I'm Keiko Lin. I'm here holding your hands, guiding you every steps to discover your potential, harness that energy, bring it to your reality, and make your dreams come true.
Comment 504, ready to speed of 170 per tower space. You get following Boeing 727, 1 o'clock, 6 miles right base, descending on a 3500.
Welcome to Tuesday with Keiko. Today, my guest speaker is Anda Grobbelaar. She is a dynamic future life designer, author, and co-founder of Fire to Wire South Africa. Passionate about guiding others towards purpose and mental resilience. Anda's journey took a transformative turn in 2022 when she met mentor David Nair and joined MRM Carpe Diem. This encounter led her to co-author Grail 2.0, Take Your Life Right with Purpose, and ignited her career as an international speaker. Anda's mission centers on teaching others about the grief process, helping people avoid getting stuck in unresolved grief so they can live fuller lives. Her offerings include workshops on moving from grief to gratitude, as well as mastering loneliness versus isolation. Known for her belief that listening is key to human connection, Anda's empowering sessions emphasize growth, resilience, and a profound sense of purpose. She lives each day as a new adventure, inspiring those around her to do the same. Welcome, Anda Grobbelaar. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Keiko. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very happy to have you share your story with the audience.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm really looking forward to engaging with your audience.
Thank you. Anda, share with the audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so thank you for the introduction. As Keiko said, I live in Cape Town, South Africa. I am a future life designer. I like that phrase a little bit more than just saying I'm a life coach. I am a philanthropist supporting two charities in India. One is called Earth Survivors, that looks after displaced elderly people, and the other one is Ment Aid in Kolkata, that looks after children with mental handicaps. And the reason why I'm the philanthropist is because of the book that Keiko has mentioned, Grail 2.0, Take Your Life Right, that I had the privilege of co-authoring with 29 other authors from 6 countries around the world.
That's amazing.
Thank you. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
But as Keiko also said, I'm the co-founder of Fire to Wire South Africa, And FightAway is an international platform where community members can learn from various patterns, tools, and best practices to step up their mental resilience, their relationships, and ultimately their lives. But I think the one big thing that really gives me great pleasure in my life is the annual angel parties that I founded in 2007 following the stillbirth of my second daughter, Anda Grobbelaar, or Bibi, as we used to call her.
It's
Um,
amazing when you mentioned about the angel light. I think that is a wonderful ceremony when reaching out to other kids that have cancer. That's really amazing.
Thank you so much. Um, it's so difficult when you have a baby that was stillborn at 9 months because you had this
Yeah.
perfect little baby that you held in your hands and your arms, but you couldn't bring her home. And
Yes.
then you think, how do I celebrate her birthday? What do I do? And for the
Mm.
first 4 years, Lanae, my eldest daughter at the time, and I would
Yeah.
have a little cupcake with a candle and we'll sing happy birthday to Bibi. But that was
Yeah.
that. And then one day, Laneki came home. She was very excited. She was 8 years old from school. And she said, she knows how we can celebrate Bibi's birthday. So I said, what are we going to do? And she said, we can have an angel party. So we can, all the presents that Bibi would have gotten for her birthday, we can give to the children at CHOC, which is the cancer unit
Mm.
at Tygerberg Hospital in Cape Town. And
Mm.
that's how the angel parties were started, with that little idea from Lanae.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I mean, it's really heartwarming when I read your story about this angel party. I love the
Thank
idea.
We were so fortunate that this year on the 3rd, Bibi was born on the 1st of August,
Mm.
2001. And
Mm.
this year on the 13th of August, my NPO, the Anda Grobbelaar or Bibi Foundation, was eventually established. So now we can do so much more for children with cancer globally.
Yes, it is amazing that you all come up with this idea to help those cancer patients, especially children that have cancer, make them happy, make them laugh.
It's important because, some of them come from such underprivileged families that the parents
Yes.
actually don't even have money to buy a toothbrush. So there's so
Yeah.
much work that needs to be done, not just for the children to make them comfortable and make them feel loved and happy, but
Mm.
for the parents to support them mentally for the process that they go through. Seeing their children so sick, having to go through all these procedures and
Yes.
not knowing very often whether the child is going to survive or not.
True. It's a
So
journey.
yeah. So I think the Anelda Grobbelaar Foundation is going to really make a big difference in the lives of the not just the children as patients, but also their parents and the workers, the hospital workers, the doctors, the nurses,
Mm.
everybody that needs to take care of the children with cancer.
It is. It is nice. At least this is something heartwarming.
Thank you.
How you cope with the journey of transformation in your life?
So for me, it took quite a long time. Bibi was stillborn in 2001,
Mm.
and that pain that I felt was so immense. And I know in her book or in Bibi's story, I described the feeling as I imagine what a little buck must feel like when it is attacked by predators and ripped to pieces. That's
Yeah.
literally what I felt like. And I remember walking through the mall one day and I felt people were staring at me because they thought I was strange. And all I wanted to say was, my baby is dead. And I had all this pain in my heart and I felt
Mm.
so lost. So I realized that other people are struggling and suffering from their own adversities and their own challenges that they need to overcome. So that's why I started writing Bibi's story. And I explain the grief process in this book so that people don't become stuck in their grief. They can work through their
Mm.
pain. And sharing my story will hopefully make a difference to somebody else's life somewhere in the world.
Yeah, it is hard when we been through a huge loss, because I personally I've been through a huge loss, and at that moment it is hard. It's not easy to overcome, and right at the corona period, and you can imagine, is I felt so isolated, and I'm glad that I have this. I joined the course in Impact Theory University, and I'm grateful for the community in Impact Theory University. Is really amazing. The support that they have given me is so amazing, and I'm taking baby steps to change my life. And today, that is how I started this podcast.
That's awesome. That is really inspiring because grief is so messy, and if you don't understand the process of grief, it's so easy to spiral down that dark hole of depression because you can justify your grief. And once you spiral down that dark hole of depression, it's very difficult to come out of that. And that is why I started this workshop on grief to gratitude, because I don't want people to become stuck in their lives with unresolved grief. They need to live fulfilled lives and they need to find happiness in their lives again. And grief doesn't just come from the loss of a loved one, as we know. It
Mm,
also comes from the loss of a job, the loss of a house, the loss of a pet. And
yeah.
when you don't understand the grief process, because it doesn't follow A, B, C, D,
No,
you
it
go from
doesn't.
A to D and then back to A and then to C, and it's a whole process that one undergoes. And it's
Yes,
important that you understand that process. Otherwise, grief can be very destructive in your life.
true. And yeah, it can really snatch, someone's life away from that person.
That's very true. That's very true that unless Um, you know, I realized very quickly, luckily,
Mm,
because I studied psychology, that there are this process that we're going to go through, and there are these emotions that you're going to have to feel and work through and not deny them. And even though I was so heartbroken and my husband was so heartbroken, we had Lene, and this little girl still had to have two functioning parents that could look after her and see to
yes.
her needs, and explain all of this to her in a manner that she could understand why her baby sister didn't come home with me.
Mm. Yeah, that's hard. I mean, it's like at that moment.
You know, I wonder if you will allow me just share one of the many reviews that I received for BB Story.
Yeah,
And
sure.
Claire Hugh is a Reiki practitioner, and she wrote in her review that this little gem of a book is straightforward, uplifting, and speak right from the heart. I would recommend this book to be used in conjunction with any mourning or healing process. It will help anyone unlock stuck emotions, move forward, and be able to contribute again to this wonderful life that we have been afforded. And that's the essence of the book. It's I want people to have this beautiful life. I don't want them to be
Yes,
stuck in grief.
it's true. I mean, when we are stuck, what we see is just gray. Everything is gray, and there's no life. It's just like autumn. When the autumn comes, the leaves start falling, and yeah, that kind of, autumn and winter. It feels like that. It's cold and it's dull, and yeah, we need to live our life because there is four seasons. It's the same as our life. We have the four seasons also. We need to have spring in our life.
So what I did at the time was I would wake up in the morning, and when I woke Lene up, I would open the windows and I would open the curtains and I say, "Hello, God, thank you for this beautiful day that you gave us today again." And it doesn't matter whether it was raining and gray
Mm,
outside or whether the sun was shining, because what I wanted to bring across to her is this thing called gratitude, and that you
yes.
can always find something to be grateful for. Doesn't matter where you are at in your life.
Yeah, especially roof over our head. It's so important. Recently, I met a man he's from Kenya, and due to the conflict of the government, and he flee to Netherlands. He just quickly packed his stuff and take a ship, travel all the way to Netherlands without much of his things. And he told me he's actually working in the airport as a traffic controller. I was like, wow. He was a traffic controller, and he came to somewhere that he never been before. And yeah, of course, it's like it's hard to restart his life in the Netherlands, and he basically is like he has no money to live in those home shelter, so he has to sleep outside. When I met him, I really feel sorry for when he has to go through such a harsh incident in his life. And he said that he had diabetes. I just hope that he's able to find somewhere to really have a roof over his head. It's really hard
You
now
know,
when
we don't always know what other people are going through. Now, this
true.
man that you're talking about is an example of he
Mm.
had to flee his home country. He had to leave friends and family
Yeah,
behind, probably. Had
true.
to leave his home behind. Imagine the trauma that that man is going through.
Yeah, it
So,
is not
you
easy.
programs like this, if he's exposed to that, would make such a big difference to his life.
Mm. This is amazing. How you step into a breakthrough?
Oh my gosh, that is really exciting because, you know, the moment that you go through this little keyhole, you can never go back.
It's
Um,
hard to go back. It's really
you
hard to
can
go back.
never be the
Mm.
same again once you've had that breakthrough. And when you start conquering your goals one by one, you start looking for the next one and the bigger one, and then it
I
becomes
agree.
an exciting game in your life.
Yes, I
Um,
totally agree. Yeah.
because really, at the end of the day, when you look at it, you hold the limitation of what you can achieve in your mind. But once you break that glass ceiling, there's no going back. But it
This,
does take massive
yeah,
action, discipline, consistency, sacrifices, because progress is not automatic.
that's right. And how you gain clarity of what you love doing?
So, like I said earlier, my life changed dramatically when I met David Nair. Um, and in Fire to Wire, we were exposed to various modalities that supported our transformation. Um, and we also completed a purpose drive course with him, which
Mm,
showed me exactly where I'm at in my life, where I want to be, and what I need to put into place. And suddenly I had clarity in my life what my purpose in life is. And my purpose is to teach people around the world about the grief to gratitude process. So I have a compass for my life and I know where I'm going to and I know how to do this.
Mm.
And that's why I'm so thankful for opportunities like this that you have
Yes, it
created,
is.
because you have given me a platform where I can talk about the grief to gratitude process so that other people can be exposed to that and can learn from my experience.
Yes. I mean that is also the reason why I created this platform, because in 2020 to 2022 I went through a huge loss, and it is difficult if I'm alone, I'm all alone going through that grief moment. It is difficult to get out of it, and I'm so glad that I have a community impact theory university that is backing me up, that is giving me that support that I need. And I've always admired Tom Biyo, because there was one day in 2018, I was watching his interview with John Asaraf, and while I was watching it, I told myself, yes, this is something I like, that I love to do, conduct interview and interview any of the guest speaker that comes to my podcast, to listen to their story and to share with the world, whoever that encounter a loss, at least they know what they can do. Because with all these guest speakers came to my podcast, all of them, they have something in their heart, and in the end they create something beautiful to help humanity, which is such a beautiful thing.
If you really think about it, we are all one. We all come from the same source. And if we
Yes,
all help each other, we make each other stronger.
that's
And that's
right.
what it really is about, is to make each
Yes.
other stronger.
Yeah, and support is so important. I mean, supporting one another is really so important, because once you give that support, especially when I've been through the loss, I did question what is love, because I thought family, we love one another, and that at that moment I was like, what is love actually, and what is unconditional love, and what is, yeah, all this, all this what is, you know came out on my mind. And I mean, it's like the one thing that get me stuck is I thought we are family, and family supposed to stick together, but no, that is not the case. That is our perspective thinking, having that thought that, as a family we have to be together. But that is not the case. Everyone has a perspective in how they see things in the world.
That's very true. You know, it is very, very sad for me when families break up. And
Yeah.
I am extremely fortunate that my marriage didn't break up because of baby stillbirth, because there are so many marriages that does break up because of a
Yes.
stillbirth, because the people can't handle the emotions. They don't know how to process their grief.
True.
Um, and that is why this workshop for me is it was imperative that I create this supportive, empowering environment where people
Mm.
can explore their emotions, where they can process their grief, where they can cultivate a mindset of gratitude and thus finding hope and meaning in their lives again. Um, it is important that whenever you experience an emotion, that you work through that emotion
Yeah.
and make
It's
friends with it
important.
and become comfortable with it, and not just put it aside and not acknowledge it.
Yeah, I guess many people, they just put it aside. They don't want to deal with it. That caused
And that's the
a
problem.
breakup. Mm, that caused the breakup.
Correct. Correct.
Mm. What is the takeaway for our viewers?
Um, okay, so I hope they have pens and papers to write this down because number one, you choose what you become.
Yes, totally agree.
Number two, when you stop growing, you cease to be useful. So you
Totally
always
agree.
need to develop yourself. You always need to work on your mental resilience. You always need to learn something new. You know, the creator gave the beggar 24 hours in a day and he gave the millionaire 24 hours in the day. But what you do with the 24 hours in the day that you get is your choice.
Yes, so
And always
true.
remember you're a work in process. You're a work in progress. You are always going to change. You're always going to evolve. You're always going to grow if you choose that. And one other thing, grief can be overcome and you can find purpose in your grief. And I want to share with you what one of the ladies from Nigeria wrote when she completed the Grief to Gratitude Mastermind. She said, Anda, your mastermind has been super helpful in making me understand there is no cookie cutter way in dealing with grief. And I have found freedom in some of the unconventional ways I learned from the Grief to Gratitude Mastermind. I know exactly what to do with my old photos now, my collage of QJ memories. Thank you so much, Enya Epele from Nigeria. Now, Enya went through this grief to gratitude mastermind and she lost her sister and she didn't know how to find purpose in her grief. And when she had finished, it was like this light bulb moment that just went on for her. And she said, I'm going to take all my sister's photos and I'm going to create this big collage of all her photos on a wall. And that's exactly what she did. So,
That's nice.
ultimately, yeah, it is nice. So, not
Yeah.
everybody grieve in the same manner. We all
Yes.
grieve differently. And not everybody's purpose is going to be the same when they find their purpose in their grief. Mine is to do the angel parties and to tell the world about the grief process. Yours is
Mm.
going to be something different. Enya's was
Yes.
to create a wall, um, a collage of all the pictures of her sister. And that's fine.
That's amazing. And thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. Before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to add or any message you want to leave our audience with?
I do want to say to them, remember, growth is unlimited, which means your potential is unlimited. But the choice is yours. You choose, you decide what you do, what you become.
That's a great message. We appreciate your time and expertise. Where can our audience find you?
Please, if you are interested in my books, if you are interested in the workshop, if you want to support the non-profit organization, you can email me at anda.grobbelaar@gmail.com. You can also Google me because I don't have a website yet, and there's lots of information available in Google. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. We'll be sure to include those links in the YouTube description box. Thank you once again for being with us today. It's been a pleasure. And to our audience, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this interview, please subscribe and leave us a review or share it with others who might find it interesting. Until next time, goodbye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye, Kiko. Goodbye, viewers.
You're welcome.